sending data. Sending data. Facebook looks like it's live. YouTube looks like it's live. We're so punctual. Do you want to test the chat? Testing chat, testing sound.
Testing check.
Who's gonna be the first to comment? It's always you. Ayo. Okay, looks like we're ready to roll. Let me switch my cameras.
Oh, yeah, people joining.
Hey, hey. Hey, guys.
Hey, Pasha. Hey, Nancy.
I feel like I always start the same way. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to our live paint party. So my name is Marina. I'm the founder of Creatively, and I'm joined here by my fiance, Alex, who's going to be helping out in the background, I think.
You know, the man behind the scenes.
Hey, Nancy. Hey, Pasha. Hey, Jane. How's it going, guys? So tonight we're painting. Let me take off this weird thing. So we're painting Fallin Birches.
Ooh, ooh.
Who named this one? I can't remember. I think it was you, actually.
One sec. Announce the spam comment.
So we have a few people in our event page who are trying to spam us. So just ignore, don't click on any malicious links. The only way to see this live is through our Creatively page. So just a heads up, they're spamming our chat, they're spamming our Facebook event, so just ignore them. That's what we're gonna do, right, Alex?
Absolutely.
Okay, so did you name Fallin Birches? I feel like you did.
It could have been a tandem effort.
I feel like it was you this time. All right, guys, so this is the painting. So we're gonna give you 10 minutes to set up. So actually it's 8:03, so we're gonna start approximately at 8:10.
Love it.
So I'm just gonna go over the supplies with you. Oh, and of course I forgot to pour my paint.
OMG. Looks like
So
you'll be setting up as well.
I'm just gonna set up as well. Okay, so we have our canvas.
Check.
So this one is actually 12 by 12, but you could use any size you have.
Is that bigger than the normal?
No, it's always the same size.
All right.
So we have 6 colors of paint, so I'm actually gonna, it might create inappropriate sounds, but you know. So we have white, we have red, blue, yellow, and then we have a new color called Rossiana. So it's a mix between yellow and brown. So if you guys don't have this color, you could just mix brown and yellow and you're gonna create something similar. And
Rossiana?
Rossiana.
That feels like something we made up.
What?
Feels like something we made up.
Maybe.
Rossiana.
That's actually a legit color. Okay, and then we have black. So 6 colors.
Check. All
Thank
6. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so then we also have our cup with water and 2 brushes.
Check and check.
And check, because that's 3 actually.
Well, let's just triple check it then.
So we have a large brush. Let me get it onto the camera. So we have a large brush. It's a flat brush, size 16, but you could use any large brush you have. And then we also have a small brush, which is round. This one is size 4, and that's for the details. So 2 brushes.
For the smaller, finer things.
For the smaller, finer things. And then we also are using a sponge, which looks like this if you purchase my box. But if you dip it into water, and this is the coolest. I still think this is the coolest thing ever.
Hey, it's
Okay,
the
you
small
ready?
things.
So we're gonna dip it into water, and it's just gonna expand.
Magic.
It is magic. Hold on. Hold up. Almost there. Okay, so it's starting to look like a circle. So I'm just gonna wring it out. So this is your sponge.
And voila.
Voila. And then we also have some paper towels. And last but not least, we do have our adult beverage. And tonight is an old-fashioned
An old-fashioned.
that Alex has made for me, I think.
We did.
And what do you
Which
have?
blue is
You
that?
also have?
There's a question. Which blue is that?
So the blue that we're using is actually called phthalo blue. I love
Phthalo.
saying that. Phthalo blue.
blue.
It's a darker kind of blue, but if you have something else, then that would definitely work too.
I can't believe multiple
Primary
people
blue also
know
works.
the word phthalo.
Phthalo, it's a very common, it's like an everyday word that I use all the time.
It's prohibitively false. But that's fine.
Hi, Jana. Hi, Emily.
Ina,
Hey, guys.
how are ya?
So we have a few minutes. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks. You have a few minutes to set up. And meanwhile, I'm going to take a sip of this. Fine. So guys, I do want to let you know that at some point in this evening, we're going to have a giveaway. And we're doing something new.
What?
Alex is really excited in the background. You can't really see him,
What?
but
Whoa.
he's doing a little dance.
Happy dance.
So we do have a giveaway, and it's actually the biggest giveaway of the biggest giveaway that
excited we
we've done. We're
can't
so
talk.
excited we can't even speak. So definitely stick around for that. And the way that you enter the giveaway is actually if you comment in our feed. So I think the spammer is actually going to get a lot of points because he's been commenting a lot.
But they will be disqualified automatically.
They will be disqualified. So make sure that you say hi in our chat. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're drinking. Make sure you're commenting in the chat at some point so that you could be entered into the giveaway.
The more comments, the more entries?
The more comments, the more entries, but no spamming.
The no
Those
spam.
people will be disqualified.
Relevant and fun comments only.
Exactly. Hey Ricky, hey Nina, hey Maria, hey guys, welcome. So we are going to start in just a few minutes. Cheers. All right, we have people from Michigan, from California, Montreal, yes,
There you go.
international. From Iowa.
Kentucky, I thought I saw.
So awesome. I'm so excited.
Louisville.
From Maryland.
Vegas in the house.
Vegas in the house. We are broadcasting from Queens, New York. And we're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook, not on Instagram yet.
You want to tell them your YouTube channel where they could find it?
Well, they're already here, right? But if you guys are interested in checking out our YouTube channel, we have a very long URL for now because we need to get 100 followers. So as soon as we get 100 followers, it'll be very easy. It'll be youtube.com/creativelybox. But for now, it's really long, so help us get to that 100. So you could go onto our website, creativelybox.com, and you'll see a YouTube button on there. So if you click on it, it'll take you to our YouTube channel. Wow, that was a very long explanation of how to get to our YouTube channel.
We'll work on that one.
How do I condense that into 5 seconds?
Go to our website. For
Go
our
to our
YouTube
website,
channel.
click the YouTube button. Got it.
For the links.
Okay, we got Brooklyn in the house. So guys, if you're just joining, I just want to let you know that we are gonna have a giveaway at some point in this evening. So just make sure you comment in the chat, and that's how you enter into the giveaway. So we're gonna be drawing a random name at some point later tonight. And if you guys have any questions about how to set up, if you're missing anything, just let me know in the chat as well. So it's 8:11. We're always so punctual, but I feel like, does anyone need more time to set up? Is everyone ready to start?
Who's ready? Wisconsin.
I feel like you're ready.
I'm
You're
so
always
ready.
ready.
I'm so ready. Stay ready.
Okay, so no one had any objections, so I think we're gonna start.
Off we go. What is the name of the
What
red?
is the name of the red? I think this is primary red.
So basic. So basic.
I think. I need to check the container. Yeah, we could hear Alex very well today, which I'm very excited about. Okay, guys, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our large brush. We're gonna raise it up in the air, and you guys are gonna repeat after me. You ready,
Wave
Alex?
it like you just don't care.
All right.
Hold on, I need my brush out.
Okay, get your brush. Okay, I promise
I promise
to have fun and relax,
to have fun and relax,
to not judge my painting
to not judge my painting
or the painting of others,
or the painting of others,
and to be fearless.
and to be fearless.
Cheers, we're ready.
Let's do it.
Should we cheers? I feel like I need a refill already.
It's aggressive.
Is it?
Maybe.
I don't know, it's been like 13 minutes.
It's very fair.
All right, guys, so we're gonna take our large brush and we're gonna make gray. So, do you know how to make gray? Come on.
A little black and white.
I know it's hard. Okay, so we're gonna take some black, we're gonna take some white, we're gonna make like a medium to light gray. And I don't know if you guys can see what I'm mixing. I think you can. Okay. So I'm doing a medium to light gray. I'm trying to lift this up so you guys can see. Okay, so guys, if you've painted with me before, usually you start with the background, but this time we're gonna start with the foreground, which is a little bit different, but I promise it's gonna be okay. So, okay, let me use this as a reference. Okay, so we're gonna do several diagonals for the trees. So you're just gonna take your brush and you're gonna go all the way from the top to the bottom, and you're gonna create some lines. Oh, that's very big. Okay, so this is my first tree, and it could be messy. I messed up a little bit, and that's totally fine because you're gonna color this in. So then I'm gonna create some other trees as well, and they could crisscross. So I'm gonna crisscross these two. Okay, so here I have.
Oh, Allison,
trees.
welcome to our monthly live.
Welcome to our monthly paint night. Okay, so then I'm gonna maybe make one over here. I'm making it very messy, so don't worry about it. We'll fix the shape later on. So this is my other tree. Just the one thing to keep in mind is that your trees are probably gonna get a little bit thinner towards the top. So either keep them the same width or make it a little bit thinner at the top. Okay, and then I'm gonna make some on the other side. So I'm gonna do one here. This one looks crazy. It's like... Okay. And then you could crisscross some of the other ones as well if you want. So then I'm gonna do 2 more over here. So there's one, and then I'm gonna crisscross the other.
Does it matter if any of them are darker than the other?
It doesn't matter. That's a good question. Because you're gonna color it in anyway.
Man of the people.
That's right. Okay, so then I'm gonna color them in. So this is where you get to change the shape a little bit if you want to. And if you guys are first-time painters, let me know in the chat. Don't be intimidated. This painting is really easy, I promise.
And
Alex
remember,
used to be a first-time painter too. Right?
indeed. Indeed.
Okay, so I'm just coloring these in.
We use. Terry, I believe she's using a brush.
So I am using a brush, so I'm using my large brush right now to do the birches. You guys are welcome to use any kitchen sponge that you have. That'll also work. But you won't get that effect of expanding the brush. Okay, so I'm just coloring these in with the gray. And it doesn't really matter if you get some lights or some darks. It doesn't really matter.
We have a first-time painter.
Got a first-time painter. Hey, Andrea, welcome. I feel like this is the type of painting that you would want to hang up in your house,
Why not?
right?
It's a lovely painting. You'd hang all of them up.
This is just like, this is the best season. You know, like who doesn't love the fall? So someone asked how long will this video stay up after tonight? So it's actually going to be posted on Facebook and on YouTube, and it's going to stay up there for a while. That was very big. It's going to stay up there for a good period of time. Okay, I feel like the spammer is gone, which makes me really happy. So someone is asking whether they could use a makeup sponge. So yes, you can. I love makeup sponges, not for painting, but for makeup. But they definitely work for painting. But if you don't want to waste one, you could just use an old kitchen sponge as well. I feel like once we get spammed, it's like
It's almost a compliment type thing.
yeah, I feel like we've made it, you know, because like who's gonna spam someone who's, you know, not as important as us? You know what I mean? It's like a little flattering.
Almost.
Okay, guys, so I'm just coloring in these trunks right now with the gray. Okay, how's everyone doing with their trunks? That was a weird question.
Everyone's trunks are just at another first time painting with us. Welcome,
That
Nancy.
doesn't mean that they're a first-time
Yes.
painter.
But welcome to.
Welcome to Creatively.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm pretty happy with my tree trunks right now.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave these alone because I keep on making them bigger and bigger for some reason. Okay, so now comes the fun part with the sponge.
Quick question on the trunks.
Yes, what's the question, Alex?
From Lisa. From Licia. Oh, my apologies, Licia.
Okay, so Lucia is asking, should we try to keep the trunks pretty much the same color all the way through? So it doesn't really matter because you're gonna be covering up, so if you guys can see in my sample, you're gonna be covering up the gray with white anyway. So if your trunks are different shades of gray, that's totally fine. So don't worry about that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my sponge. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with yellow first. So this is gonna get a little bit messy, and your canvas is actually gonna look a little bit messy also. And don't worry about that because it's all, I promise you, it's all gonna come together when we do the birches.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the
exactly.
process.
So I'm gonna take my sponge, I'm gonna dip it into the yellow, and I'm kind of just gonna go crazy on my canvas. So I'm gonna spread the yellow just in random parts of the canvas. So I'm gonna put some here. I'm just gonna spread it around kind of all over the place. And it's okay if it goes into your trunks. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about staying within the lines. Is this really loud? I can't tell.
Can be a bit aggressive, but who knows?
We're gonna get a little aggressive with this. Okay, so I'm just kind of adding it in random parts.
You're passionate about fall foliage. There's nothing wrong with
It
that.
looks really bright on my screen. It's like almost fluorescent
It is pretty
on
bright.
my computer screen. But I guess it is pretty bright. So you could dip your sponge in a little bit of water just to help it spread a little bit, but at this point I'm not really using that much water. So I'm just dabbing it and kind of spreading it all over the place. And guys, I do want to mention that this is your painting. This is something I probably should have mentioned before. So feel free to use any colors you want. So if you want to make the background blue instead of yellow, if you want to add more green or more red, feel free to do so at any point. So don't feel like you need to follow exactly what I'm doing. So this is just a background. This could be any color that you want. So actually, in real life, I feel like birch trees are more yellow and raw sienna, right? So feel free, if you want to make it more realistic, you could use more of the yellow and the raw sienna instead of going crazy with the reds and the greens like I did. So I'm kind of covering up a lot of the canvas. This is always a struggle. Trying not to either drink your paint water or dip the brush into your actual drink. And for some reason I keep them very close and I never learn.
Just living life on the edge.
Yeah, just being fearless.
There you go.
You know. Okay guys, so then I'm gonna take the same sponge and I'm gonna go into the raw sienna. And I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. I'm just going to spread it all over the place. So just in random places. So I'm going to go over the yellow and start adding it around my canvas. So feel free to just go over the color that you already had as well. And I actually really love this new color. It's very fall. So I'm just dabbing my sponge all over the place with this color and covering up more of the canvas. It's funny how it just looks so messy, like at first when you do it, but then all the way at the end, it just all somehow comes together. You know? So I'm kind of just adding it all over the place. Yes, Terry, so this color is called raw sienna, I think. And it's basically a mix between brown and yellow. So if you have brown and yellow, you could just mix them together and you'll get something similar. Otherwise, you could improvise. You could probably mix red and yellow as well to get an orangey color. And that could be something similar as well. So I'm just kind of adding this all over the place. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a little bit crazier and I'm gonna bring in some of the red. So if you guys don't want to use red, if you want to make it more realistic where you just keep to yellows and raw sienna and maybe some oranges, you're more than welcome to do so. So you could just continue adding more of the yellow and raw sienna until you cover your canvas. So it's really up to you. So I'm actually going to use the other side of my sponge just because I don't want to mix the colors too much. I'm going to try to not dip it into my drink. I'm going to wet this a little bit, and then I'm going to dip it into the red. So the red is a very strong color, so I'm just going to dip a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing with the other two colors. So I'm just going to spread the red all over the canvas. And I'm going right over some of my other colors. And you're actually going to see it blend a little bit. So it's probably going to turn a little bit orangey. It's going to blend into the other colors. So I'm just also adding this red kind of in random places around my canvas. I don't know why, but like working with a sponge is so much fun.
It's playful.
It's very playful. I feel like I haven't done that in a very long time. And also you don't have to worry about the details when you're working with a sponge. It's just you're covering up large areas and you're not really concerned about getting those tiny details. But those will come later though.
Oh, they will come.
They will come. Okay, maybe I'll have some at the top. So then I'm going to continue with the red until my canvas is pretty much filled up. So I could go in there with some of the other colors. I could go back in with yellow and with raw sienna and again with red just to fill up my canvas. I don't know how my canvas like became so diagonal right now.
It was all your aggressive foliage.
I know. Okay. Can we make raw sienna from burnt sienna? I think so. So I think if you add yellow to it, it'll transition into raw sienna. So let me know if that worked. And I think we have some artists in the chat who can confirm.
That's really funny. I by no means thought raw sienna was actually two words of raw sienna.
Wait, you thought it was
Thought it was
raw
like- that's-
sienna, like one word?
Yeah, I was like, that's why I said it sounds like something we'd make up. Like, what a ridiculous name for a color.
And then did you think that burnt sienna was also just one word?
No, once
Burnt
it
sienna?
was,
Oh, 'cause you read
once
it
I
in
read
the
it, I was like,
feed.
I see. I'm just the foolish one.
That was a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with some of the other colors and just build it up a little bit and cover more of my canvas because I still have some parts that are missing some colors. So I'm gonna go back in with some yellow and then maybe with the raw sienna. One word. And it's okay if it gets into your trees. That's exactly what's happening here. That's fine. There's an echo.
Yeah, she's gonna go to my
Okay,
mic.
I think I know what's happening. Hold on. Okay, we're trying to fix the sound problem. Let us know if it's happening again. I just fixed Alex's mic.
Testing, all good?
And is that coming from Alex's end only or from my end too? Keep us posted. Well, we might need to turn Alex off. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alex is gonna be scared to talk now. He's just gonna be sitting there quietly. Okay, so I'm just going back in with some of the raw sienna and just adding more of it. If your hands don't look like this by now, then we may have a problem.
You're just not trying hard enough.
Me or whoever doesn't
Whoever
have these
doesn't
types of
have
hands,
that-
yeah.
those type of dirty hands.
You have to try harder.
You have to get into the painting. Immerse yourself, as they say.
Says Alex, who's just sitting there on the side.
Wow. The harshest of colors.
Okay, so now I'm kind of over my sponge a little bit. So now I'm gonna go in with my paintbrush. So I'm gonna take the large paintbrush and I'm just gonna wash it. It still has some of the gray on it, so you just want to make sure that you wash it really well. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with the 3 colors again and just dab so you're building up the texture a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the yellow. And I'm gonna add kind of a lot of yellow to my brush. And then I'm just gonna dab my paintbrush, also just going in random places around my canvas and just building up the texture a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay, so
Is there no green damage?
not yet. So the green we're gonna add a little bit later.
Patience. Patience.
But the thing is, if you guys want to add green now, you could totally do that because the colors in the background are totally up to you. So I'm just dabbing with my brush, and it's kind of turning orangey,
I don't like it.
right? You kind of like it?
I dig.
Good.
Do you want to reiterate the contest rules one more time?
Do I? Okay, so Alex wants us to reiterate the contest rules.
It's a good giveaway.
It is a good giveaway. So we haven't mentioned what the giveaway is yet. But we are having a giveaway at some point this evening. It's actually gonna come up very soon. But just make sure, guys, if you want to enter the giveaway, which you don't know what it is at this moment, but we'll tell you in a little bit, just make sure that you're commenting in the chat, because that's the way to enter in the giveaway. We're going to select someone randomly from the chat.
Who's commented?
Who's commented? So just say hi, let us know where you're from, let us know what you're drinking. What else? That's it.
What they're painting on.
What you're painting on. Okay.
Any fun facts?
Fun facts about you. Okay, so then I'm gonna do the same thing using the raw sienna. So I'm gonna just dip. I don't even need to wash my brush because these colors are blending in. So I'm just going in with the raw sienna and just building up some of the texture in my canvas.
Is each comment one entry?
So it's just gonna select someone randomly from the chat. So let's say if
So yeah. So the answer is
so you
theory,
you get
yes.
more chances if you're commenting more, right?
yes.
As long as you guys aren't spamming. We already had enough of that earlier today.
Indeed.
So I kind of covered up most of my red. But that's okay because I'm gonna bring it back in.
You're gonna bring your red back in.
I'm gonna bring my red back in.
I like it.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna wash my brush before I do the red, just because I kind of want to make it stand out a little bit. So my water is actually starting to look more like my old-fashioned. So that's where you really have to be careful. No, but seriously though,
That
look.
can get very dangerous.
It's like, it's almost the same color. Okay guys, so I'm gonna dip my brush into the red and I'm gonna go back in and bring some of the red.
Is there a way to thicken the paint?
So someone is asking, is there a way to thicken the paint? So definitely don't use water if you're trying to make it thicker. But it really depends on the kind of paint that you're using. So some paint is a lot more watery than other types of paint. So you could just continue building up in layers. So just let it dry a little bit and then keep adding more and more paint, and that way it'll thicken up a little bit. Okay, so I'm bringing in some of the red.
Ooh, someone's going to be
For-
painting on a piece of wood later. That would be interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to see. So everyone who's doing it right now or later, I would love to see your work. So just please post it on social and tag us. So my hashtag, actually not hashtag, my profile name is at the bottom of the screen. It's at creativelybox. So if you guys are posting your work, I would love to see it. So just don't forget to tag us.
Are you using,
Alex would like to see it too.
I would love to see it. Are you using the big or small brush?
So I'm using the large brush for everything right now. So this large brush is actually, so this one is size 16 and it's a flathead brush, but any large brush will do. So my background is getting crazier and crazier, and that's okay. It's gonna look very messy until you get to the birches. So it's all gonna come together, so don't worry. So I'm just dabbing my brush kind of all over the place. And if you maybe covered up too much of the yellow or too much of the raw sienna, you could just bring it back by adding more of that paint on top of the red. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with the raw sienna, just like adding it all over the place.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nelson, you caved so fast.
All right, guys, so now I'm gonna add in a little bit of green. So I actually don't have green as a paint color, so I'm gonna need to mix it. So does anyone know how to mix it?
Honey,
Looking
promised
at
there'd be-
you.
You promised there'd be no pop quizzes.
You can do this, I know it.
All right, let's go try again. What was the question?
How do you make green?
Oh, blue and yellow. Maybe.
That's right.
Pause for dramatic
You get
effect.
scared.
Why don't we just pause for dramatic
I was
effect?
thinking about something else. Okay, so we're gonna mix some blue and yellow to make green. And the more yellow you add to it, the lighter it gets. So don't add white to it. So if you want to make it a brighter green, just add more yellow instead of white. A little bit of color theory here and there. All right, guys, so I'm gonna also dab with my brush just to add a little bit of green in places. So also just spread it out, make it kind of random. Just a little bit on the bottom, on the top, in the middle somewhere. And also if you want it to look very fall, then you don't even need to add the green. So you could just keep it to the yellows and the oranges and the reds. And I'm gonna add maybe just a little bit more because I do want to keep it more fall.
Becky has a few questions.
So someone is asking what size brush you are using. So right now I'm using the number 16 flathead brush. So this is a flathead. So if you have a brush that's even bigger than this, it's also gonna work. So you could use one that's half an inch, doesn't really matter, as long as it's a flathead. And then if you guys just have round brushes, that's also gonna work. It's gonna create a slightly different effect, but it's also gonna look really cool. Did someone say they could thicken their paint with flour? I feel like we just ignored that comment.
I think Nelson.
Well, that's a really interesting theory. I feel like I want to test that out.
Some cornstarch as well, which I particularly liked as a retort.
Okay, so if your paint is thin, so a lot of times the yellow is actually a lot thinner than some of the other colors. So I would recommend to add more blue to it and then add yellow back in just to make it a little bit thicker. So instead of adding white, because the white is gonna make your paint really light. But you could try it and see what you get. So I think I'm pretty happy with my background. So it still looks very messy, and that's okay. But I'm pretty happy with it, so I think I'm gonna move on. So I'm gonna let this dry for just a little bit. So I think, Alex, is it giveaway time or is it too early? So I'm gonna tell you guys what the giveaway is.
Yeah, we can at least announce what it is.
I'll let you know what it is, and we're gonna do a little demo. Okay, so guys, I can't believe that I'm giving this away for free because it's kind of crazy. But so this is our special edition Halloween box, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So it actually comes with blacklight paint. And it also comes with a blacklight flashlight, so you could set the mood and see it in the dark while you're painting. So I'm gonna dim the lights and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. Let's see if this works. It's this way. Okay, and then I'm gonna dim this one. All right, you guys ready? Okay, so this is our special edition Halloween box. It's called Deathly Gorgeous, I think. Right, I may have messed this up. But it comes with a traceable outline. So you could actually trace the design right onto your canvas. It comes with tracing paper and graphite paper. So it's really easy to replicate this design and it just looks so, so awesome. So this is gonna be our giveaway. It comes with everything you need to create this awesome painting. And I'm gonna turn the lights back on. We have a lot of lights in this place. All right, so if you guys are interested in this giveaway, just make sure that you comment in the chat and we will be selecting a person at random later on for the giveaway. And I know that some of you guys who joined, you've already purchased this painting. So instead, if you end up winning, we'll give you one of our other paintings or the latest one. So our November painting, which I can actually show you guys as well.
Just giving it all away.
I'm just giving it all away. Well, November painting has launched yesterday.
This is true.
So this is our November box. And this one, it's called... So this one is called When in Rome. And we're going to be painting this next month. So definitely join us for that. I did not make that up. Check our website. So definitely the blacklight one is so much fun and I'm so excited to do this one. We actually have an event on October 30th.
And there's a blacklight included in...
There's a blacklight flashlight included in the box, along with the blacklight paint, an outline, tracing paper, and everything else that you pretty much see here. So it's palette paper, it's instructions. Did I miss anything?
Glow in the dark paint.
I said that maybe like 3 times.
Just to emphasize.
Yep. So for the November painting, we actually do our paint nights every first Tuesday of the month. So actually in November, the first Tuesday is election day. So we are most likely going to push it to the following week. So we'll let you know. Just make sure you're following us on social, and we'll keep you updated. What? All right, guys. So now we're gonna move on to the birches. So this part is really fun. We're gonna take the small brush now. So this is my small brush. So we're gonna take the white and we're gonna start by doing horizontal lines all the way up the birch tree. So these lines are gonna be horizontal, but they're gonna have a little curve to them just to give a 3D effect. So I'm gonna show you. So I'm taking my brush and I'm just going
Do
horizontally.
you put a lot of paint on your brush, or do you just kind of like?
I kind of put a lot of paint because I want it to show up. So I'm just going in horizontal strokes from the right side to the left, and I'm not going all the way left. I still want to see a little bit of the gray. So this is the moment where you kind of have to decide which one's going to be in front of the other. So is it going to be this one or is it going to be this one? I don't know. I know. So I think I'm going to do this one. So this one's going to be the top one. So I'm just going to continue this birch here. So Terry says she's going to be painting with her grandchildren on Halloween. So that's awesome. So Terry, definitely consider the October box because that one is so much fun. I feel like Halloween is the best holiday of the year.
Why is that?
It's just so much fun. Like, when else do you get to dress up, eat a ton of candy, and not have to worry about, like, hosting your family? You know? It's just like, it's so laid back. No response.
I'm pondering.
Are you pondering?
The doorbell gets rung so much on Halloween.
Well, not this year. This
true.
year is special. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of trick-or-treaters this year. Okay, guys. So, again, I'm just taking my brush and I'm going from the right side to the left in a horizontal stroke, but also giving it a little bit of a curve. And I'm going all the way up the tree. And I'm going to do that for all of these guys. And this creates a really cool bark texture. And yes, I'm using the smaller brush. So someone is saying it might be difficult to purchase 4 kits. So we actually give discounts for purchasing more. So if you get it for one person, it's gonna be $44.50, which includes shipping already. So all the shipping is included in that cost. And then if you get it for a group of 3 or more, the price drops down to $39.50, and that also includes shipping. So it's $39.50 per person. And then we also offer referral discounts. So if you guys refer a friend, you get another 10% off. If you refer 10 friends, I think you get at least 40% off. I'm looking at Alex, I don't know why. But the more friends you refer, the more discounts you get. So definitely getting a group together either virtually or getting a few of your close friends over for Halloween definitely saves you money. What?
Shipping to Canada?
So unfortunately, we're only shipping in the 50 states, but I'm gonna need to get back to you on whether we can ship to Canada, depending where.
Terry's in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Okay, so I'm gonna continue doing this to all of my tree trunks. Are you making me another drink?
Do you need one?
Yes. So this size brush is a size 4. But you could use any round brush. It could be a size 6, it could be a size 2. So definitely it doesn't matter as long as you could get some of these details. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to some of these trees. And I'm gonna do the same thing. So just make sure that you're adding a slight curve to your line just to give it a more 3D effect. Okay, so here again, I have to choose which one I want to be in front. So I think I'm gonna do this one. And then I'm gonna go with the horizontal lines just all the way up that tree. Thank you, sir. Just the best. So these trunks kind of blended into the background a little bit, so I'm kind of defining it with the white. What kind of bourbon is it?
It's Maker's Mark. Good old classic bourbon. Can you switch from which direction your lines are coming from?
You can. So you could switch, but you do want them going from right to left and leaving the space on the left side because the sun is coming from one side. So this way it looks like the sun is coming from the right side because they're all much brighter on the right side. So you definitely want to keep it more consistent for each tree. Alex, how did you make this one?
What do you mean?
I didn't try it yet. What'd you put in there?
Special recipe. Do you like it?
I do. Okay, so I finished with the white paint for now. So how are you guys doing? Did you get to all your trees? And as you could see, this is pretty messy right now, which is okay. So my lines are pretty all over the place. So now I'm gonna go in with some raw sienna and do the same technique. So I'm just gonna wash my brush. Oh, that was a close one.
You almost went into the
Almost. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the raw sienna and I'm gonna add some raw sienna into the bark as well. So it doesn't need to be all over, it could be in certain places. So I'm just adding it a little bit on this one, maybe a little bit at the top.
Were you using white or gray?
White, so I'm using just white. So now I'm going in here and I'm doing the same technique, also going from right to left and making the line a little bit curvy. And I'm going with raw sienna in here. And it gives this little rustic texture. Is that the right word? Rustic?
Maybe. What did you want to say?
Just that.
Just
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna add it to some of these trees as well.
You have a water glass too.
I do. I have
Three glasses.
hydration on both sides.
I too like to live dangerously.
Okay, so I added the raw sienna, and now I'm gonna go back in with the white and just make it a little bit more pronounced. So I'm gonna go back in, I'm gonna cover up maybe some of the raw sienna, and I'm gonna define my trees on this side a little bit more. So I'm just going back in and doing the same thing and just making the paint even thicker. And brighter. So how much raw sienna you guys add, it's really up to you. So I added just a little bit maybe at the bottom, some a little bit at the top of the trees. So just a little bit, so it's definitely less than your white. And now I'm going back in with the white and covering up some of the raw sienna as well. And I'm just defining the edges of these trees with the white. So I could go in here and just kind of define the line of the tree a little bit more. Crooked. And then I'm making them a lot brighter. And I'm using pretty thick paints here. I'm not really using any water.
Do you do anything for the sides of the canvas?
So you can paint it black on the sides just so it looks more like a frame. Usually I don't, but you're welcome to do that. So especially when you're waiting for paint to dry, you could definitely paint the sides of your canvas. And if you're planning to hang your piece, it looks a lot better when the sides are painted. For
Pro
sure.
Pro tip?
Pro tip. I'm so excited for these spots on the trees because it's just really gonna
Maybe pop.
make everything come together. I learned a new word when I was coming up with instructions for this.
What was your new word?
Lenticels.
Lenticels?
Lenticels. Do you know what that is? I think. Hold on. Yes, lenticels.
What is it, my dear?
It's the spots on the trees. Did you know that? Because I didn't.
I inferred from your line of questioning.
I was trying to figure out how to refer to them. Like, should I call them spots? Should I call them? They're not stripes, but streaks. But they're lenticels. Just so you know. You learn something new.
That's it. Just learn something every day. Come for the paint, stay for the fun facts.
I may have covered a lot of my raw sienna, but you guys could just bring it back in.
Are these streaks with white or the sienna
With white.
with white?
So this tree in the back is looking a little crooked. You see that? It's like thinner here. So I'm just gonna use white to define the lines of this tree a little bit more. Kind of like that. And then I'm gonna even it out. So I'm just extending the, okay, wow, that looks so much better all of a sudden. Did you see what I did there?
I did. It's the subtle things.
It's a subtle thing, so I just made it slightly bigger. So that way, it looks more like it's supposed to.
Did you prep your canvas?
I did not, so this canvas is already prepped. So if you guys are using wood, you probably need to put maybe gesso on it or some kind of primer. So that way the paint goes on smoothly. How's everyone doing with their bark? How's everyone doing with their bark?
We're doing fantastic.
Thank you. Okay, so before I go in here with the black lenticels, I think it might be giveaway time. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, hold on. I just need a sip of drink. Okay. So if you guys did not comment yet in the thread, please make sure that you do, just so you could be included in the giveaway. So we're gonna draw a random person right about now.
Right now?
I think so right now.
Like right now?
Like right this minute. Okay, I just need to figure out how to do this. Okay. I'm gonna draw a random person right. That's not how you do it. I'm trying to get the link to this. Okay, hold on. That did not work. Technical difficulties. Okay, so basically I need the link for the live. Are you able to send me the link? We didn't rehearse this part. So maybe because it's live, it's not working. Okay, let me try this link again.
Tyler's been killing it with
Okay, hold on, we got it.
We got it there?
No, not yet, but we got it into the app. We've uploaded all the comments. Okay, I feel so tech savvy. Okay, I'm gonna hit start. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're doing this. I feel so nervous. Oh my god, no way! Just kidding, I didn't press start yet. Wait, no, it's not you. Okay, hold on. It's picking. Okay, the winner is Nancy Hagu. Nancy, where you at? Yay, Nancy. So Nancy, we're gonna reach out to you for your contact information, for your shipping information. We're gonna send you the special edition box. Woohoo! Okay. So I'm going back into my feed. Hooray, Nancy!
Now everyone else get the box and join us.
Yeah, so for sure. Okay, guys, so now I'm ready for the black streaks. Are you ready for that? Should we wait a little bit? Should we? You want to get to it? Okay. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to take also my small brush and I'm going to dip it into the black paint, and then I'm going to go into one of my trees and I'm going to create a little I guess it's a mix between a stripe and a cow spot. It's a mix between a zebra stripe and a cow spot. Kind of like this. So this is just one. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna make another one, and I'm kind of sticking to the sides of my bark, but I'm gonna put some in the middle as well. So I'm making them kind of crooked, kind of all over the place. So it's kind of a stripe. It's kind of a spot. I don't really know what it is.
It's tencel. It's a lens, or what was it?
It's a lenticel.
A lens.
So lenticel.
You had to double check there.
I did. I had to peek a little bit. Okay, so just make sure that you're varying the sizes of them so they're not all the same. So some of them could be a lot bigger, some of them could be smaller. You could also go in the middle of your bark and just add a little one here, for example. So then I could also go on the side and kind of extend this little streak out a little bit. Like that. And then I'm just gonna continue going up. And some of these could be a lot bigger, so this shape, I don't even know what it is, but it's just there. And with the spots that are more like stripes, just make sure that you're also giving them a slight curve. That way they look like they're on the actual tree.
John's ready for her branches already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fast.
John, the patience
So
is-
so the branches, that's gonna be one of our last steps. So first we're adding these spots. And some of them kind of look like eyeballs. Just a little bit. So if you had to define the shape, it's kind of a little curve and then a circle shape underneath. And then you could add some maybe little ones just in the middle somewhere. So then I'm gonna go into this tree and I'm gonna do something similar. So I'm doing this spot and I'm kind of extending it out a little bit. And this also gives you a chance to define the tree a little bit more because mine kind of blended in with the background a bit. So I'm using these dark spots to define it a little bit on the edges. Don't lie. So it looks like on one of my trees, the gray is not pronounced enough, so it's not really giving it an outline. So I'm actually gonna go back in. So I don't even need to wash my brush. I could just dip it into the white and make gray again. And then I could go back in to this edge and just define it a little bit. So I'm just going back in and I'm making the outline of this tree a little bit more defined.
Let it stand on its own.
Let it stand on its own so you could see it a little bit.
It's its own tree.
Exactly. And I could do that with some of the other trees as well, because it's kind of blending into the background a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to continue doing the, what are they called again? The streaks.
The tentacles, the lentils. I know it sounds like lentil for some reason.
You're making me hungry. Okay, so I'm gonna continue doing the streaks. So you could really be playful with the shapes. So some of them could be just stripes, some of them could be more like spots, some of them could be bigger. How's it looking?
It looks great. It looks great.
Listen, don't judge my painting.
Just. Oof.
Okay, so I'm doing the same thing with these trees.
So crazy, really is like the final step just warps it all together. It's like, oh look, there's the magical trees.
There it is. And you could continue extending some of them out a little bit. So kind of looks like
Like the beginning of a branch?
the beginning of a branch, yeah.
Intriguing.
Isn't it? Alex, do you have a Halloween costume planned?
The harsh call out that question was so unwarranted.
It was more like a just curiosity.
I am one who appreciates the costumes of
Yawn.
others. Of others is all. Do you have a costume in mind?
I do not.
Are you going to dress up?
Well, I feel like for our event on the 30th, we both have to dress up.
It's a 10-4 negatron, as they would say.
Who would say?
I would say.
I feel like you have no choice. How's everyone's birch trees coming along? Are they birch trees or what's the aspen trees?
Aspens. They could be
Are
aspens.
very similar.
Very close to aspens.
Well, they're fallen birches, so just saying.
Abstract art, you know? I did not know that.
What?
I just said that a birch and an aspen are the same tree.
What do I need to ask Alexa?
She's turned off.
Good.
No.
I'm gonna Google this later and confirm.
I also didn't know about this filbert and hazelnut action.
I did not either.
And it's like we said. Come for the paint, stay for the fun facts.
Okay, guys, so I think I'm ready to move on to the branches. How's everyone doing?
It's a 10-4 Roger. Let's go for it.
Okay, guys, so I'm gonna take my small brush and I'm gonna continue using the black paint, and I'm gonna lightly apply pressure to the brush and extend out for branches. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna continue some of the, I guess, half branches that we kind of started on, and I'm just gonna extend out. And my stroke is gonna get thinner as I go up. So I'm gonna do this for a few of these trees. And most of the branches are gonna be closer to the top part of the canvas. So then I could add another branch here, and I'm just applying really, really light pressure to this. And it helps if your paint is a little bit wet. So I'm just gonna dip it in here and I'm gonna dry it off. And I'm just gonna keep going. And some of these branches could overlap the trees. And just make sure that you're thinning it out as you extend out. And you could use a little bit of water to help you. I'm barely touching the canvas.
Just nice and gentle, huh?
So you guys could choose how many branches you want to add to your tree. So you could either make it really full with a ton of branches, or you can keep it to a minimum. So it's really up to you.
How deep into fall is it? That's the real question.
Well, the question is, how woodsy is it? That was close.
Tread carefully, as they say.
And you will continue just dipping it a little bit into water and then drying it off on your paper towel and then going back in here, because it allows you to spread it a little bit better.
If it's drier,
If it's wet,
it's what?
yeah. And I'm gonna add some more to the top here.
I like it. We got trees.
We got trees. Kind of want to be there right now. Wow. I don't know what that meant, but wow. So guys, I do want to mention that, as you know, this event was totally free. So I would really appreciate you showing us some love by following us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And also telling your friends if you had a good time tonight. And if you guys can, also you could leave us a review on our Facebook page. So that would really mean a lot. So yeah, so definitely, if you guys get a chance, please do all of those things.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. As we're getting here, this is basically one of the last steps. So I'm gonna show you guys what you could do with some of your branches. So I'm actually gonna take my brush and I'm gonna dip it into the white and I'm gonna create a gray. And then I'm gonna go into some of these and I could make them a little bit thicker. This is too dark, so I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. So then I'm just adding onto the branch and making it a little bit thicker with the gray. So I could do that for a few of these. So I could do that on this one. So you could just thicken up some of these branches. And you guys are welcome to continue to make this a lot more woodsy by adding more and more branches.
I think the gray gives a nice silence to it.
A little bit, yeah. So I think the last step, do you know what the last step is?
Decide it.
Yes. So the last step, guys, is obviously going to be to sign your name at the bottom of this canvas. So you guys, you're welcome to continue working on this, adding more branches. You could also adjust the color to your background, so you could add more green, more red, more yellow, whatever you want. So just keep playing with it and see what you come up with. So guys, I would love for you to share what you created. So if you can, post it on Facebook or on Instagram, and please tag us, Creatively Box. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Alex.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.